accept two numbers. The requirement is like this. Try to understand the requirement. We're going to accept two numbers and perform the addition. To accept two numbers, we are going to use two text boxes. First number we are accepting with the help of this text box. Second number we are going to accept this text box. Once you accepted first number and second number, you click add button. Whenever you click add button, the 10 will be stored into a variable called A and 5 will be stored into a variable called B. And after that we will perform 10 plus 5 like this, and that addition value is what, 15. The 15 will be stored into another variable called, let's say, C, and after that we are getting a message called result is 15. For this requirement we are going to implement one example. So how many text boxes we are using here? Two text boxes. How many buttons?
One button.
One button. Okay, so for this requirement we are going to develop the application. Okay, right. Now, yeah, let's go for yesterday created application. So you don't require to create application again and again. So until unless if the requirement is changing. So these are all the minimum basic requirements, like simple UI based applications. Doesn't that applications are interacting with what, databases. Okay, so right now, are we using in our examples model? Last 2 days examples, are we using anywhere have you written the code in model?
No.
No.
Why?
There is not required.
There is no requirement to communicate what database, right? Come back to our discussions. Same controller, your controller name is same, called basic examples. You should not neglect. So if you will neglect in the basic examples, the simple micro level clarities you will miss, that will be effective at the time of like next level examples. Controller name is home controller, action method name is index, and return view same. And coming to the view, your requirement is in design, we are going to write the code here. We are going to write the code for two text boxes and one button. Going to write the code for two text boxes and one button, and this is the design code. Right, this is the design code. Like I told very clearly already. Right, enter first number. Already in Razor coding, all the controls are HTML controls. You can observe here your text box control is a ASP.NET control or HTML control.
HTML control.
How do you know that it is HTML control? What is the difference you are identified between ASP.NET control and HTML control?
If there's ASP control, we have to use the server, run it as server.
That means if I will make this control also, I'll make it as a run at equal to server.
For ASP.NET controls, we have ASP by
I can make this control also run at equal to server. You can make, but anyhow in MVC, like in Razor coding, you don't have run at equal to server. The main difference you can identify ASP.NET control, whether you remembered or not. Every control tag prefix will be ASP colon. ASP colon. Remember that?
Yes.
ASP colon text box. ASP colon button, like that.
Button.
Here,
yeah.
HTML controls will be almost all input controls starting with input tag. And the second difference, whatever you said is right. That is run at equal to server. Now enter first number. This is the first text box. And coming to enter second number, input type equal to text. This is second text box. But between first text box and second text box, we are used what? Break tags. Why break tags? Why break? What is the purpose? Move the.
It has to come next line.
Next line. Okay. Now name equal to txt num2. Name equal to txt num2. txt num2. With this here we created two text boxes. After that we are going to create one button control, that is input type equal to submit and name equal to btn add. Let's say btn add btn add value equal to add value equal to add, and addition result is okay. We are using span tag here. The purpose of span is a label tag, similar like a label. Span is, and at the rate c is a variable. The variable is coming from the razor code that will contain the result. So finally this is the design. Now coming to the whatever you're going to use, that razor code is like this. So you required razor code will be like this. Here you will have like what is this code, taking first variable. Where is the first variable available? First of all, this is the integer c variable. C variable we are declaring outside to hold the result. Why we are declaring outside we will see next to. And particular code, I'll write the code clearly. Particular code, the code whatever you are going to perform, that should execute for first request or post back request.
or post back.
Addition code should execute for first request or post back request.
Post back request.
Post
When I
back
click
request.
the button.
Yeah, very
Yes.
good, excellent. That's the reason. If this dot is post, means particular addition code we should keep within the is post black. If this dot is post, means when the is post will be true, when the is
Clicking
post,
any event.
whenever post back request is generated. Okay, now here you can say int a equal to, now text box value. Whenever you want to get a text box value, here you have to use request property. You have to use a request property like request of id of the text box, txt num1. Okay, here what is id? Txt num1. Make it capital. Here txt, this is txt num1 and this is txt num1 num2. Here txt num1. Okay, request of txt num1 means your text box one code will come, and that you are assigning into a type is integer. So it's this type is string. Here this type is text box value type is string. That's the reason we are going to convert into integer. For that, in here you have a method called asInt. Int b equal to, again, request of txt num2 dot asInt. Now first text box value will be stored into a, second text box value will be stored into b. C equal to a plus b. C equal to a plus b. So c equal to a plus b. Now c will contain what? Addition result. Now immediately you got a doubt, sir, a and b you declared within the block, but only c you declared outside the block. The reason is, if you declared a and b within the block, that variables will be local to block only, which you cannot access anywhere. And a variable which you declared outside of the block, that variable even though you can access in the in the div code also. Here the requirement is the C variable should be accessed in the div section. Due to that reason that I had declared as a global variable. If you have a doubt about this, you can declare here into C. Into C. Now here we don't have any problem, but here we got error here. We got error here. Observed? Hello. Observed.
Yes. Yes.
About this, doubt about this, just run the application. Then it will throw the error related to variable called C. Right. So this clearly saying that the name C does not exist in the current context. Are you getting my point? So that is the reason we have declared here C outside. Okay, right. Now immediately you got it out. Why we should initialize 0, sir? I will not initialize. You observe that also. No, I didn't initialize. Again, still it is showing what error. Now we will see what is this error also. Right. Now this is use of unassigned local variable C. So you are using C which is not initialized with any value. So that's the reason. Okay. You should initialize with what? Some default value. What is the value you are initialized right now? 0. Okay. Now stop debugging and build and run. Observe the application execution process very clearly. You got your design. Observe all of you. What is happening? How this application at the time of attending interviews, mainly the interviewer will expect from you regarding MVC basic level. Do you have a clarity how MVC application will execute? Whenever you run this application, mainly first request and post back request and is post property will play very important role here. Whenever you run this application, what is happening? One request will come to the controller. Controller name is home controller. This home controller will invoke one action method. What is the action method name?
Index.
Index action method will return view. Which view it will return?
Index.cs.
Index.cshtml. When index.cshtml is loading first time, what is happening? You know, Razor code will execute. In case of Razor code, to C equal to what?
0.
This dot is post is what? This dot is post is what? You are, Sharada, you are catching like anything. Sharada, there is a student attending class. Observe. Her name is Sharada. In username, you can observe. Is Gupta. Okay, she's just now learning C# ASP with videos, and she is directly attending MVC. That concentration is important. Very good. This dot is post means, is it true or false?
First time it's true.
Is post. This dot is post. Is post.
First time it's false.
First time is false.
False. If of false, first time only. If of false, skip.
Yes.
block is not executed. Now your div code will execute. This output will come. While coming this output, it will show, it will be visible one text box, second text box, one button. But in span, you will have C. C is what? By default, it is showing what?
0.
0. User entered 10. User entered 5. User click a button called add. User click a button called add. Whenever user click add button, post back request will generate. At the time of post back request, now again
True.
this dot post true, then a block will execute. Request of txt num1 10 stored into A. Request of txt num2 5 stored into B. 10 plus 5 15. 15 will be stored into C. Are you clear? Yes. Now again this text box button everything will execute. In case of span @C. @C what? @C is what? 15. This is the example. Are you clear everybody?